It is the 3rd of January, the year 2023, and Kenyans are back to work. The holiday is over. We have a lot lined up for you in tonight's KUTV Primetime News Bulletin, but first, the highlights. Garissa, Kandara and Elgeyo Marakwet ready for Thursday's by-elections in search for their new legislators. 17-year-old boy allegedly kills his 3-month-old baby in Narok. 2 security guards murdered in Tala by unknown thugs in a span of 2 weeks. And government urged to prioritize reviving sugarcane outgrower schemes. I'm not alone in studio tonight. I'm with Sami Okelo, who is our sign language interpreter for the bulletin. My name is MUTEGI K. Martin. Now, a minor who is alleged to have killed his 3-month-old daughter before attempting suicide was today arraigned in a Narok court. The 17-year-old boy remains in custody for 14 days as police carry out further investigations.
Police are investigating a case where a 17-year-old boy allegedly killed his 3-month-old daughter and tried to commit suicide. The minor was earlier today arraigned in Narok Court. The 17-year-old boy from Aitong area in Narok West Sub-County is alleged to have defiled a 13-year-old girl who became pregnant and bore the girl child, who is now deceased.
Police station for a further 14 days pending conclusion of the investigations. I further ordered that the respondent to undergo age assessment at Narok County Referral Hospital. So we mentioned after 14 days.
The boy was brought before Narok resident magistrate Daniel Ngayo, where the state council led by Duncan Ondimwa asked the court to allow the investigation team 14 days to carry out further investigations. It is alleged he murdered the baby on December 29, 2022 and was arrested when trying to commit suicide. The magistrate ordered the boy to be taken for age and mental assessment before he is brought back in court on January 17, 2023. Caroline Kimwele, KUTV.
Police officers from Kiritiri Police Station, Mbere South in Embu County, are holding a man in custody who, together with other 2 counterparts, tried to flee after allegedly conducting robbery with violence within Karie and Kabuguri villages.
Mbere South Sub-County Police Commander Inviolata Lumati, while confirming the incident, said that police officers made a swift response that involved shooting at the Toyota Probox car tires to stop the almost escaping group after getting a hint from the area residents, thereby arresting the driver, who is currently helping police with investigations, while the other 2 suspects are yet to be found. Lumati further added that police are suspecting that the 3 other missing suspects are a clique of gangs who have been terrorizing bar operators and other business operators within Mbere South for the last 1 month.
Ni ati hatulali usiku vyema sababu serikali ni kama wamelala viongozi kuanzia sijui anaitwa DC na hao wengine hata na DO. Kwa nini? Kutoka mahali police post iko mpaka mahali kwingine mahali police post iko kuna sehemu kubwa sana pale katikati. Ningeomba serikali katujengee police post moja hapa katikati sababu ya hapa kumeongezeka wizi.
Residents of Karie, Kavera and Kabuguri in Mavuria Ward decried of increased insecurity cases, asking the concerned government agencies to empower Nyumba Kumi leaders to help them effectively respond and relay its security information.
Wizi imekuwa nyingi upande wa Mbeere South na Mbeere North. Kama wiki jana watu walikuwa wameenda kuimba huko Siara na wakawa wamewekwa ndani. Na pia usiku wa leo hapa Karie na kule Kavogore Madhira Kenda pia watu wameenda kuimba. Kulikuwa na wizi huko usiku wa gari na watu wakaingia huko kitu kama saa 8 na wakaimba vitu huko na wakuja Karie.
Embu Senator Alexander Mondege, also adding his voice into the security status of the county, affirms that there is high insecurity in the area, urging the county's security team to beef up security.
Tunauliza serikali iweze kuchukua hatua juu ya Embu County kwa sababu mambo ya wizi imekuwa nyingi sana upande wa Mbeere South na Mbeere North. Hiyo ingine ningeuliza serikali ya ulinzi iweze kuangalia mambo ya pombe na mambo ya dawa za kulevya na mambo zile zingine juu ya watoto wetu.
Mundegi called on the Cabinet Secretary for Interior Professor Kithure Kindiki to fast-track the deployment of more administration police officers strategically in all locations, for he believes that will beef up security in the villages that have been rendered vulnerable due to a far proximity to the nearest police station.
Another unfortunate incident that police are investigating is where a security guard was found murdered on Monday morning outside a supermarket in Tala, Machakos County. Confirming the incident, Machakos County DCI boss Benedict Keegan has admitted that there has been an increase in insecurity, in the growing town, promising no stone will be left unturned in the quest to bring the perpetrators to book.
Machakos County DCI boss Benedict Keegan has revealed that the killer thugs had disconnected the CCTV devices and that they suspect the security guard was killed in a scuffle with suspected thugs who wanted to access the supermarket. He added that the suspected criminals invaded the supermarket, dug through its wall, and ran away with an unknown amount of money. Keegan has asked the officers to pursue the perpetrators and bring them to book. The incident comes weeks after another security guard was killed outside the church in a similar circumstances. The body of watchman was taken to Kagundo Hospital mortuary as police begin their investigations. A team of detectives has been sent to the area to pursue the gang. Josephine Kialo, an employee of the supermarket, explains how she was reporting for work only to notice some blood stains.
Asubuhi nilikuwa supposed kufungua duka kama a leader among the 3 leaders who are here. Ile nilifika niliona leso imeanguka mahali. Kawaida nikajua ni ya staff wangu.
Tala MCA Jackson Daka, who doubles as Deputy Majority Leader in Machakos County, has called on Cabinet Secretary in charge of Interior Kithure Kindiki to order for immediate transfer of key security officers in the sub-county.
Today in the morning, we had a very bad news in Tala Town. 4 robbers, they killed a watchman. And that is the second watchman within a span of 2 weeks. And the mood in Tala is not good because as we speak right now, there's security lapse between and Matungu at large. With immediate effect, within 7 days period, we gave the CS, Bwana Kindiki, and the entire government to make a reshuffle. And we have declared that the OCPD Matungulu must go. We declare that the DCIO Matungulu must go, and then the OCS Tala must go. And that's one has no bargain. For the security matters, we are not bargaining. Because if that will be the case, and that will be the spirit we will be on the ground, it means we are scaring the investors and we are on the way of increasing the rate of unemployment. So in that matter, because in Constitution, security is paramount and it means no bargain. So we are not beseeching anybody, we are demanding security. And as a community, we are even requesting we relocate the OCPP office from Koma to Tala, because from Koma to Tala, and even the DCI office from Malaa to Tala, because the Tala is the epicenter of the crime. And in that regard, I even consulted in the morning the Honorable Member of Parliament, and we made such a declaration. And there's no bargain to that effect. We are not bargaining, and we are saying enough is enough.
James Mongangi, who is a resident and a business person in Tala, has threatened to start peaceful demonstrations as cases of robbery with violence in the area are escalating. Merigachu, KUTV.
All right, on to politics now. It's all eyes on the upcoming Garissa Township by-elections scheduled for Thursday this week as the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC) finalizes preparations. This comes hot on the heels of a sibling rivalry that has intensified between the United Democratic Alliance (UDA) and the United Democratic Movement (UDM), both of the Kenya Kwanza coalition.
After the curtains came down for the campaigns of the hotly contested Garissa Township Member of Parliament, all is now set for the Thursday by-elections that will determine the successor of former Member of Parliament Aden Duale, who resigned after his appointment as Cabinet Secretary for Defense. The contest has attracted 6 aspirants, among them Mohamed Deko of UDA, Nasir Dolal of UDM, former Fafi MP Abdikarim Osman of Democratic Party, Muhyiddin Abdirashid of DAP Kenya, Shure Ibrahim Malo of NAK Kenya, and Abdi Faisal Amin of Azimio la Umoja. The by-elections, however, seems to be sparking a sibling rivalry between the UDM party and the UDA party, both of the Kenya Kwanza coalition, which have fielded the 2 top candidates. Defense CS Aden Duale has wooed Garissa town residents to elect the UDA candidate Mohamed Deko, saying that he is the most preferred to take the mantle from him. At the same time, Mandera Senator Ali Roba, who is the leader of the UDM party, has come out fiercely to campaign for Nasir Dolal, while urging the northern Kenya residents to unite under the UDM party.
Tunataka nyinyi wote kama viongozi ambao wanawania, tafadhali mufanye program yenu kwa hizi siku chache baki kwa njia ya amani.
IEBC has reported that preparations for the Thursday by-elections are underway and urges the residents to maintain peace during the entire process. A total of 54,000 voters will participate in the polls, whose outcome will decide the next MP after Aden Duale, who has served for uninterrupted 3 terms. Joseph Kess, KUTV.
From Garissa to Kandara constituency, where the by-elections also draw near, as it is only a day to the election date that is slated to take place on Thursday, 5th of January. All candidates ended their campaigns that has seen a stiff engagement in the campaign battlefield for the last 2 months. Today at 6 p.m., IEBC cleared 8 contestants to vie for the Kandara parliamentary seat that was left vacant after Alice Wahome was appointed CS for water, sanitization and irrigation by President William Ruto.
IEBC, in their address to the media, affirmed their readiness to conduct the Kandara by-election, including other by-elections in Garissa Township and Elgeyo Marakwet County on 5th January 2023. Speaking to the media in Garissa Township last Friday, after inspecting the status of IEBC preparedness to hold the by-elections, IEBC Commissioner Abdi Gulie said that the training of the IEBC officials who will oversee the election process has been adequately conducted.
And still on by-elections, Elgeyo Marakwet residents are set to elect their second senator on Thursday this week. This is after the seat fell vacant following the appointment of Kipchumba Murkomen as Cabinet Secretary for Roads, Transport and Public Works by the President William Ruto. The senatorial seat has hence attracted a total of 6 candidates, among them William Kipkemoy of UDA, Jerotich Sei of Safina, Kelvin Kiptor, who is an independent candidate, Tim Kipchumba of PPD, Timothy Tanui of the TND, and Andrew Kibiwot, who is an independent candidate. Time for us to take our first short break right here on KUTV Primetime News. We'll be back in just but a bit. Keep it here.
Africa, we're a software company based out of Nairobi, Kenya, and we build customer-centric solutions that helps businesses communicate effectively with their customers. So the first solution that we offer is a VoIP solution. So the VoIP solution is basically a call center that allows you to push up to between 1,000 to 1,000,000 concurrent calls at a go. So that's either if people are calling you in or whether you're calling people out. The advantage that we've been able to also see with this is people can work remotely. So if, for example, you're in Nairobi and you're managing a team in Mombasa or in Kisumu, then you have full access.
A local themed cuisine series. Now this week
we are going to do the coastal cuisine.
Yes.
County 001.
Sami and I, together with the rest of the people doing the bulletin tonight, are back to inform you on what's happening in the country and beyond. And now the national government has been urged to prioritizing reviving sugarcane outgrower schemes and increase funding to sugar research institutions in the process of reviving Mumias Sugar Company. The Deputy Secretary General of the Kenyan National Federation of Sugarcane Farmers, KNFSF, I beg your pardon, Simon Osechere, has said that outgrower schemes are necessary for millers to thrive.
The Deputy Secretary General of Kenya National Federation of Sugarcane Farmers, Mr. Simon Osechere, has said that outgrower scheme played an important role in ensuring millers are continuously supplied with raw materials like they did in the 1990s and the early 2000s. Simon noted that currently millers from the county are forced to look for sugarcane from as far as Homa Bay and Nzoia to meet the capacity they need. They even sometimes go to as far as Uganda, noting that such a challenge makes it hard to produce enough for the country, necessitating importation.
Ambayo hata tukiangalia huko nyuma while sugarcane inapandwa in this part of Kenya, it was one, the climate was favorable. Climate was favorable for sugarcane growing. And two, it so that it was a source of income for the inhabitants of the people of that region.
He added that sugarcane was introduced in Kenya due to the favorable climate for it to be a source of income for the people in the growing regions and to check against rural-urban migration by providing employment to locals.
Tunaomba wanapozungumzia mambo ya miwa, wasungumzia kwanza waanze na mkulima apate nguvu, mkulima ajengwe, na mkulima hata jengwa kama hana institution kama outgrower institution.
A farmer from Kabras, who is also a human rights activist, Tom Mwanje, has said that as the president has expressed goodwill in reviving sugar factories, he should also show willingness to help sugarcane farmers. Simon Osechere has called for the government to involve farmers in decision-making for the scheduled crop. Marigachu, KUTV.
Let's move beyond our borders, and recent surveys by the Pew Research Center show that President Joe Biden is widely trusted and viewed as a strong leader in most countries polled, while confidence in Russian President Vladimir Putin has plummeted since his unprovoked invasion of Ukraine last year. However, Biden's popularity abroad is not matched by his approval rating at home, which most opinion polls show hovering around 40%. Experts point to the polarized political climate in the U.S. and say many leaders are more beloved abroad than at home.
President Joe Biden headed to meet Chinese leader Xi Jinping and other world leaders in Asia after the U.S. midterm elections in November, saying he felt strengthened by a better-than-expected outcome for his Democratic Party.
I know I'm coming in stronger, but I don't need that. I know Xi Jinping. I spend more time than any other world leader. I know him well. He knows me. We have very little misunderstanding. We just got to figure out what the red lines are and what are the most important things to each of us going into the next 2 years.
Are you getting ready? The midterm election did not go so well for Republican candidates supported by former President Donald Trump. Polls show there has also been a steep turnaround in favorability ratings for the United States abroad, with the transition from Trump to Biden in the White House. A July study by the Pew Research Center showed that a median of 58% of adults across 18 countries say they have confidence in Biden to do the right thing regarding world affairs. Richard Wyke is the director of Global Attitudes Research at Pew. He told VOA via Skype that a majority of people in most countries surveyed strongly preferred Biden over Trump.
He gets better ratings sort of on a personal level. People see him as being, well qualified compared to Trump. And then people generally like his policies more than they liked Trump's. Again, the climate accords are a good example. Biden gets us back into the Paris Climate Accords. That's something that's very popular.
But Biden's popularity abroad is not matched by his approval rating at home, which most opinion polls show hovering around 40%. Experts point to the polarized political climate in the U.S. and say many leaders are more beloved abroad than at home. Elizabeth Shackelford of the Chicago Council on Global Affairs agrees that people in most countries prefer Biden's approach.
People are still pretty pleased with Biden bringing America back to the table and more engaged both actively and respectfully in the international community and world affairs.
Favorable views of Biden abroad contrast sharply with those of Russian President Vladimir Putin after his unprovoked invasion of Ukraine. A Pew Research study shows that a median of just 9% have confidence in Putin to do the right thing in world affairs, as Richard Wyke explains.
When it comes to Russia, what we see are just all-time low ratings in many of the countries that we surveyed. All-time low ratings for Putin, a strong public reaction against Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
French President Emmanuel Macron is one of many world leaders who has thanked Biden for leading the strong NATO and European Union support for Ukraine, saying if Russia were allowed to proceed unchecked, there would be no stability anywhere in the world today. Cindy Sain, VOA News, Washington.